Good morning, everyone. My name is Leslie Doyle. I'm with the Department of Education with the Office of Early Childhood, and we are talking today about Louisiana's Early Childhood Key Training Modules. This is the first request for applications for this new training module opportunity. So let's look at the agenda for today. The purpose of this webinar is for potential applicants to obtain clarifications on the requirements of this RFA and to receive answers to relevant questions. We'll be talking about the overview of Louisiana's Early Childhood Key Training Modules. We will talk about the background of Louisiana's Early Childhood System. We will explain what are Louisiana's Early Childhood Key Training Modules and the request for applications, how we will evaluate those applications, and then the module structure for whenever the applications are accepted. We will look at the timeline for this first RFA and answer any questions that you may have regarding this process. So let's begin. An overview of Louisiana's key training modules. The Louisiana Department of Education is seeking proposals for trainings that will improve the quality of early childhood care and education for children birth to 5 in our state. The Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Modules will increase the quality of training available to early childhood teachers across the state, ultimately better preparing teachers to lead classrooms rich in high quality. They will do that by identifying the expertise, the research, and the strategies that should be accessible to all of Louisiana's early childhood teachers. They will be sharing the highest quality trainings and resources currently available to Louisiana's early childhood teachers with a broader audience of educators, and will be providing easy-to-use resources for Louisiana's professional development vendors, allowing them to refine and improve their training offerings. Okay. Possible applicants. The department will contract with selected subject matter experts to create Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Modules. So who can apply for these key training modules? Applicants can be an individual, a group of individuals, or you can apply on behalf of an organization. Considered applicants must have experience in working on projects similar in size, scope, technical requirements, and function to the proposed contract. Individuals interested in designing and developing Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Modules, or RFA-1, must complete the application for consideration. So 2 documents were posted or were sent to you. One was the RFA that was explaining the process. It was sent over as a PDF. The second document was a Word document. The Word document contains the actual application that you will be completing for consideration. So you can access this also as a link in this webinar. After the webinar, we will pull down this deck and post it on our website and in our newsletter. So you will be able to access it there. It is also posted currently on our website, Louisiana Believes website. So you must fill in the application. This application must describe the module that would be developed if selected, and you do not need to submit the full module or fully create the module at the time of the application. The applications must be submitted by March 13th, 2019, and the application should be emailed as a PDF document to leslie.doyle@la.gov. The background of Louisiana's Early Childhood System. The Louisiana State Legislature unanimously enacted the Early Childhood Care and Education Act of 2012, otherwise known as Act 3, to unify all publicly funded birth through 5 programs into a statewide Early Childhood Care and Education Network. The vision of this statewide network is for all children to achieve kindergarten readiness when they are school. We believe this will happen by having a shared high standards for what children should learn and what excellent teaching looks like. All teachers should be excellent at interacting with children and guiding learning. Should have programs with expectations for health, safety, and learning that are consistent with adequate funding levels for programs that serve children well. And families should easily be able to enroll and choose the best option of education for their children. When looking at the Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training modules, we looked at several different data measures. In Louisiana, we have several different data measures that are gathered throughout the year and provide a thorough depiction of the landscape of early childhood care and education in Louisiana. One measure that we use is class data. Louisiana collects information on the quality of teacher-child interactions as measured by the class assessment for all publicly funded early childhood classrooms, including pre-K, Head Start, and child care. Louisiana's statewide class data provides clear information about what is happening in classrooms and what support is needed for teachers. Along with our class data, our performance profiles contain site informational metrics. These metrics measure the use of best practices such as curriculum and assessment. Informational metrics are self-reported and do not affect the site's performance profile rating. We also looked at teacher surveys. The department conducts an annual online survey of early childhood lead teachers to measure teacher satisfaction of the training and supports available to them through their network. And by analyzing these measures, we were able to provide some clear information about what is happening in classrooms and what support is needed for the early childhood workforce, which is what this RFA seeks to address. So 87% of lead teachers in early learning centers reported that they are satisfied with the support provided to meet the expectations of class. However, when looking at class scores, they show that additional assistance is needed for teachers to provide high-quality interactions and experiences that help children to develop language and learn new concepts. 73% of early learning centers reported having an approved Tier 1 curriculum. However, looking at our teacher data survey, many teachers reported not being able to fully implement the program due to lack of training and support. When looking at our informational metrics, we know that 44% of early learning centers reported assessing all of their publicly funded children using GOLD, despite the department's requirements that all publicly funded children should be assessed. Likewise, teachers would like to receive more support on utilizing the tool to inform and guide instruction. You can find additional statewide data at the appendix at the end of this webinar deck, and additionally, information about every community's class scores and the use of curriculum and child assessment can be found in the 2017 and 2018 performance profiles and resource links that are at the bottom of this slide. So what are Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training modules? To offer the very best in quality professional development training opportunities and build efficiencies that save money at every level of the system over time, the department is seeking proposals for Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training modules. What are they? Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training modules are a set of accessible, high-quality trainings designed by experts on best practices in the field of early childhood. Once created, these modules will be owned and branded by the Louisiana Department of Education and shared with key professional development vendors across the state to be used for redelivery. The design of each training module will incorporate activities and presentation methods appropriate for adult learners to ensure trainers, coaches, community leaders, and directors can provide quality training on the subjects that matter most for supporting child development. This is the department's first of 3 requests for applications to build a comprehensive set of Louisiana early childhood key training modules. Each of the 3 RFAs will focus on one of 3 focused training areas and will request the submission of proposals for training modules that will address a specific set of identified teacher competencies, which are identified within the RFA. The RFA release for each focused training area will be staggered throughout the year 2019. A tentative timeline for the request for applications for each of these 3 focused training areas is listed below. So this is focused training area 1, Early Childhood Tools and Standards, which was released this month of 2019. Focused training area 2 will discuss effective adult-child interactions, and it has a tentative release date of April 2019. Focused training area 3 will discuss management and leadership with a tentative release date of June 2019. Remember, these release dates are not set in stone, and they may change as we are further moving this process along. Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Module, RFA 1. The modules developed as a result of Louisiana Key Training Modules, RFA 1, will address topics and competencies related to early childhood tools and standards. Module 1A will relate to standards. So through this module, the teacher or participant should be able to understand the multiple influences of early development and learning, design instructional learning outcomes that are written in terms of what children will learn rather than do, include indicators from applicable ELDS domains, and are appropriate for diverse learners. They will be able to select plans for activities, interactions, and experiences that align to the Louisiana Birth to 5 Early Learning Development Standards and Tier 1 curriculum. They will be able to understand the need for alignment between standards, curriculum, and assessment. In Module 1B, we'll be preparing participants on using a high-quality curriculum. Remember, this module does not support or endorse any specific curricula or curriculum vendor. We're mainly just talking about best practices when using curriculum. So through this module, teachers or participants will be able to understand the importance of and be prepared to use a high-quality curriculum that is rated as Tier 1 by the Louisiana Department of Education. They will be able to select plans for supplemental activities, interactions, and experiences that align to Louisiana Birth to 5 Early Learning Development Standards and Tier 1 curriculum. They will understand the scope and sequence of learning activities found within a Tier 1 curriculum to scaffold the development of complex skills over time. In addition, participants will be able to understand the need for alignment between standards, curriculum, and assessment, and is prepared to use assessments that are aligned with the Tier 1 curriculum. So throughout all of these modules, Module 1A, B, and C, you'll find that same competency of understanding the alignment between standards, curriculum, and assessment. And that's something that we really want focused on through this module. Module 1C will address assessment. So through this key training module, teachers and participants will be able to conduct observation-based assessments in a systematic, ongoing manner throughout daily routines, activities, using multiple methods of collecting documentation. They will be able to understand the need for alignment between standards, curriculum, and assessment, and be prepared to use assessments that are aligned with curriculum. They will be able to gather and use assessment data for the purpose of planning instruction, activities, and experiences that further promote children's development and learning. They will be able to reflect on child assessment data and connections to teacher action and make changes to continuously improve their practice. Finally, they will be able to evaluate the progress of children's development with reliability. And our fourth focus of Module 1, or 1D, proposes training teachers on effectively integrating all of the tools that we just discussed. So through this module, teachers and participants will be able to know and understand effective strategies and tools for early education. They will be able to understand the need for alignment between standards, curriculum, and assessment. And they will be prepared to use assessments that are aligned with a Tier 1 curriculum. They will use a broad range of developmentally appropriate teaching and learning approaches. They will use the Early Learning Development Standards, child assessment results, and additional resources to design, implement, and/or evaluate a developmentally meaningful curriculum for each individual child. Criteria for evaluation. So how will you be evaluated through this process? The application for consideration, Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Module applicants will be assessed on the following criteria. First, we will look at the experience, knowledge, qualifications of each applicant, and their ability to create a professional development training module. This criteria is used to assess the likelihood that the applicant will succeed in providing the expertise necessary to develop high-quality, effective professional resources and materials for Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Modules. Will the applicant be successful in meeting established project objectives and timelines? And will they be able to demonstrate successful past experience with related projects and ongoing or recently completed activities related to professional development opportunities? In addition, the application for consideration will be assessed based on the foundational plan outlined by each applicant. The foundational plan will be assessed on the applicant's ability to provide a professional development training module that will equip teachers and/or site leaders with the knowledge, skills, and competencies necessary for providing meaningful classroom interactions and learning experiences for children. This plan should include a module description with clear learning objectives that build teacher competency, a detailed outline of the training module supported by research on effective professional learning practices, a plan for building participant engagement through reflection, discussion, and collaborative learning strategies, methods for assessing participant understanding, citations and descriptions of empirical research related to the training module, and as an optional addition to your application, you may provide a previously created sample content module. So once you have been selected and chosen by the department and it's time to start building the model, there's a little bit of information about what that module structure will look like. Selected applicants will work with the department over a 2-month period to create training modules that rely on research-based best practices. These modules must be ready-to-go presentations that can be easily redelivered. Through funding and technical support, Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Module contractors will design and develop shareable training modules that contain all materials necessary for delivery. Specifically, once designed, they will include pre-work and pre-assessment, which may be any preparation assignments that will be provided to training participants prior to the training. It may include a brief description of the training module, training agenda and/or reading activities, possibly a pre-assessment, or just questions for the participants to think about before the training actually begins. The module structure will also include PowerPoint presentations. PowerPoint presentations will be provided for each training module using Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training Module slide template and following Louisiana Department of Education Communications style guide. The slides will offer key talking points for the presenters delivering the module. However, presenters will have the freedom to expand upon topics using the speaker's notes and the facilitator's personal knowledge. The module will also include participant engagement activities, which are opportunities for participants' engagement, which will be embedded into each presentation and give participants a chance to interact with the material and process the information in a variety of formats. Facilitator notes will be included, as well as handouts and tools for evaluation. Once created, each training module will provide 2 hours of high-quality professional development training on research-based best practices. These training modules will be offered for in-person redelivery to approved professional development vendors using PowerPoint presentations, audio and video resources, and handouts. Each training module will consist of 2 hours of professional development training. Delivery of each training module should be sensitive to varying learning styles and modalities, as well as education levels and experience. Applicants may propose on their application to develop a series of modules, depending on content. The department expects to contract for the design of at least one 2-hour module to address each topic listed in Section 3, though it will consider alternative structures if proposed. So what that means is that we'll be looking for at least one contract for Module 1A, Module 1A, Module 1B, 1C, and 1D. However, we will consider alternative structures if that is presented to us. The review process between the department and selected contractors will be iterative to ensure a successful final product. Each module must receive at least one round of review and feedback by the department before release. The contractor must incorporate feedback from the LDOE, and LDOE must provide final sign-off before release, which may require additional rounds of feedback. Module structure funding. Contractors will receive funding for the training, but will not be required to redeliver the training as part of the contract for module development. $10,000 will be awarded to selected applicants to build each Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training module. A portion of these funds, $5,000, will be provided following the approval of the initial proposal, with the remaining balance awarded at the completion of the module. You will receive the additional $5,000. Selected applicants must commit to completion and submission of satisfactory deliverables found within the training module. Upon contract completion, the department will have the right to access, modify, and distribute the materials created as part of the Louisiana Key Training Module process. Here's the RFA 1 timeline. So on February 8th, the Louisiana Early Childhood Key Training modules were released. February 19th, which is today, an informational webinar was provided. The applications will be due back to the department, PDF format, emailed to leslie.doyle@la.gov on March 13th. The department will review the applications, and contractors will be announced on March 27th for RFA 1. During that time period of March 27th to May 28th, the contractors chosen will be working with the department to provide revised proposals for module development and submit drafts of contracted key training modules and feedback, respond to feedback, and then finally submit their final key training module. On May 28th, final key training modules will be returned in the requested format with requested revisions, and all materials will be due to the department. And hopefully this summer and fall of 2019, contractors will participate in a one-time Train the Trainer session to be hosted by the department.
Before we turn it over for questions, I just want to say a few words. This is Nasha Patel from the Early Childhood team. I just want to say we're incredibly excited about this opportunity. We just really feel like this is going to offer early childhood teachers in Louisiana access to some of the expertise that people in Louisiana have been developing for years now, and allow for more consistent fundamental opportunities for the teachers that we know really need this support and are really asking for it across the state. So we're really excited to offer this. We hope everybody will apply and will give us a description of what they're able to offer. And we look forward to reading your RFA proposals, working with vendors to create these trainings, and ultimately to make them available to teachers across the state of Louisiana. We are here to answer any questions that you have, both now, but then also as you're reviewing the RFA, please email us questions. You know, we want to make sure, since this is a very new process for us, that we're clear, that folks feel like they have the information they need to be successful here, and that ultimately we have a high quality set of training modules that are available at the end for all of the teachers across the state to be able to use and take advantage of, and that ultimately results in higher quality, better opportunities for children birth to 5 in all of our programs, childcare, Head Start, and pre-K across the state of Louisiana. So thanks so much for listening today, and we'll now pause to take some questions through the Zoom group chat.